Good evening, family, and welcome to Power 90 Live. I am Bishop J.C. Williams, Senior Pastor, New Life International Family Church, presiding Bishop of the Breath of Life Fellowship, and I have the honor and the distinct privilege of coming into your home on this late night platform to share kingdom updates, information, and to reveal to you kingdom movers and shakers. But first, as is our tradition, we do the thought of the week. The thought of the week for this week is entitled, What's Missing? Our nation is hurting. We've just gotten the results back, and the officers for the Breonna killing gotten off pretty much. There were no indictments from the grand jury regarding Breonna Taylor. That's impossible. The nation is hurting. Not just ethnic divide. It's not even black versus white now, but injustice, the uncalled for, institutional protection of wrongdoing. It's now a humanity issue. Everybody's marching. White people, black people, brown people, yellow people, red people. Everybody's taking to the streets. Everybody's expressing discontent, dissatisfaction. Where is justice? It seems to be elusive and evasive. Where is justice? What do we do when the administrators of justice are unjust? What will it take for righteousness to reign? What will it take for peace to be practiced? What will it take for love to be lived? Since those in high places seem to be shielded from our cry, we need greater strategy. What's missing? Well, there are a lot of things that are taking place right now under the covers that we can't see. The police are reshaping their training. Politicians are reshaping their words. Things are happening and coming together that we cannot see because we keep seeing the injustice. Again, y'all gonna do this again, right in our faces. So what do? We have economic strategy. We don't spend money for a day, and we show our economic power. What else do? We have operational strategy. We're getting you to vote. You need to register to vote, and you need to vote. You need to make your voice heard in the polls. Somebody said, what's the point in voting? My vote means nothing. No, your vote means everything. One person's vote won't make or break the presidency, but one person's absence, one person's silence just may. People died. People struggled. People were hosed. People got bit by dogs so that we could have the right to make our voices heard. So we got to vote. And so we're voting. We're turning out to the polls. We're going by bus. We're going by car. We're going by walking. We're going to mail it in. We're going to walk it in. Some kind of way, we're going to get our ballots to them to be counted. So we have operational strategy, educational strategy, where we're trying to educate people on what we need to do, how we need to do. We're doing everything, but maybe the problem is we have linear strategy and we have a parameter strategy, but maybe we don't have vertical strategy. Maybe we've looked at the issue from a linear perspective or even from a panoramic perspective and not a vertical perspective. maybe we need to consider adding intentional national spiritual strategy. Not to replace, but maybe we need to add it. What if this needs tactical and strategic spiritual warfare? What if the higher level offices, once people ascend into them, they're attacked by spirits that govern those offices? Somebody said, oh, you're getting into spirituality now and you're getting into deep stuff. But Ephesians chapter 6 tells us, it gives us the ranks of spiritual warfare. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and rulers and spiritual wickedness in high places. These are demonic realms that govern, not necessarily people, but realms and offices and levels of operation. Just maybe we need to add spiritual warfare to all of our other strategies that we're employing. Maybe you need to march and you need to vote, and we all need to vote. And maybe you need to become a part of the police department. Maybe you need to get your degree and become the leader and the sheriff and become the police chief. But maybe somebody needs to pick up the prayer element. Maybe somebody needs to say, let's go to war. Maybe we need a national prayer network. Maybe we need a national prayer leader for every state in the United States. And maybe they need a team brought from every denomination, 2 or 3 from every denomination, to come together to pray concerning that state. And maybe quarterly we need to have prayer and intercession trainings. And maybe annually we need to have a national prayer network convention. Not where we come to try to become a politician or come to be great, but where we come to pray for the nation. Maybe the church needs to stop letting everybody else bring us together to pray. Just maybe the missing element is that we're doing everything but warring at the spirit level. Well, maybe. I don't know. But maybe the kingdom needs to arise. Maybe we need to war. Maybe there's a demon, a sign, or a principality assigned to the governorship of every state, that once somebody becomes elected governor, they come under the power of that principality unknowingly. Maybe something is missing. What if prayer is the missing element? What if spiritual warfare on that level is the only thing needed to close the gap and make up the hedge? What if? This has been your thought of the week.
And your life news for today is as follows. The vision of NLIFC is building a people and serving the whole man. We present worship 3 times a week with the intentions of producing an atmosphere whereby you can experience and encounter God. Wednesday, Power 90 Connect at 8 p.m. is our online Bible study where your Christian walk is challenged to mature for the marketplace impact. Friday, Power 90 Live at 10 p.m. is a Beyond Church presentation of Kingdom Expression on a late night platform, highlighting kingdom advancements, presenting kingdom movers and shakers, and raising kingdom awareness. Sunday Worship Encounter at 11:45 is our live streaming worship service, showing forth signs, wonders, and miracles for your breakthrough, healing, and deliverance. Join us for all 3 presentations weekly on Facebook at New Life International Family Church Facebook page. Thank you.
Hey, family, I'm back. That was a little heavy, I know, but I've been dealt with all day. I've really been praying and I've really just been kind of quiet to see God, what's missing. And I really believe that it's time for the warriors, the prayer warriors, to arise. Let's cover this nation. I know the Bible says, if my people, which are called by my name, and many of you are praying, you have made prayer a part of your ritual. But I'm not talking about little fires. I'm talking about building a major network to impact this country, not just right now, but for the foreseeable future. Well, I got to move on to my guest. I'm so happy tonight. I have a young lady who is a mover and a shaker. She has 2 businesses that she's going to share with us tonight, and she is going to be a blessing to us. Will you welcome at this time Zashley McAfee? Hi, Zashley.
Hi, Bishop.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Phenomenal. I'm so happy to have you on the show tonight. Thank you for coming on. Now, you have 2 businesses that we're going to talk about.
Yes,
The
sir.
first one that we're going to talk about is MZ Creations.
Yes, sir.
Tell us all about MZ Creations.
Yes, thank you. So MZ Creations is a customization and a personalization business where we take apparel, products, anything that you want to customize and make it your own. That is what we do there.
Wow.
We can add things to your wall for wall decor. We can add to water bottles. We can add to clothing. Literally anything that can be has a clear surface or something that we can add to, we will do that. And we enjoy that. We like to make things your own.
You monogram?
Yes, I do. I have the capabilities to monogram. I have here a kind of an example. So this is just a water bottle that we personalize and added the word blessed and added the color. So literally anything you can think of that you want to personalize for a gift or for yourself, we're capable of doing that.
So you're reaching out to that class of society that is unique and that doesn't want to be like everybody else, doesn't want to fit in with everybody else, but wants to be unique, whether it's their own name or whether they want to just be different. Somebody will take a regular T-shirt and make it a billboard for something phenomenal.
Correct.
Somebody will take, like me, I like my shirts monogram. I like my initials on my shirts. For whatever reason I do. We're not going to get into that. But so you do all of that.
Yes, sir. All of that. And I've had clients, they bring things that are out of the box. Like you said, people, they want to be different and they want something new. And so we do a consultation and we talk through it and make sure that it definitely falls into something that I'm capable of doing.
Good.
And then we go for it.
What's the most unique thing you've ever done?
So right now I am in the middle of making bonnet head wraps out of African print fabrics. And I'm really enjoying that project. That's something that is new for me, but it's turning out amazing.
Wow.
And I know that the client's going to love it as well.
Now, Christmas time is coming around and people will be looking for unique gifts and different gifts. And people will be looking even to have custom ornaments and things of that nature to hang on the tree. They may want family ornaments or ornaments with family pictures in them to hang on the tree, and you do it all.
I do that all. Yes, sir. Yep.
Listen, family, you don't have to go to somebody you don't know and somebody you don't trust. This young lady is reputable, and I highly recommend her. If she can't do it, I know Zashley. She's going to tell you I can't do it and send you somewhere else. But she is integrous. She is not cheap because the kingdom does not come cheap. But at the same time, she's fair. So I want you to tell us how to reach you. How do we contact you?
Yeah. So the website, I have an Etsy account that I can be found at. And then as well, you can find me on Facebook. It's under MZ Creations. If you send me a private message, we can begin that consultation process and begin the ordering process and go through kind of what you're looking for and what you want and how to order it.
Excellent. I need all the intercessors to begin to pray. A demon just walked in the studio. My wife got her face wrapped in something. Messing with me. I'm trying to do a live show. But but Ashley, I'm really excited about that. And I'm looking forward to using you myself. I'm looking forward to giving you some business and seeing how you work out, and then pushing you in some major things.
Well, thank you. I'm ready. I'm looking forward to it.
Creations, that God smiles on MZ Creations, and that people embrace it, try it out, and let it prove itself. And that's the responsibility of business, to prove itself so that it can be trusted. Well, that's not it. You have MZ Creations, but then you also have what is called MZ
Faith Connections.
Faith Connections.
Yes.
Tell us about MZ Faith Connection.
Yes, sir. It is a private practice for mental health, a mental health agency that caters to women, mothers, fathers, and families. And we're focused on perinatal mental health, mood, and anxiety disorders. So that is our specialty. We are concerned about the mental health of mothers before pregnancy, during pregnancy, after pregnancy, while they're with their family, fathers, and wanting to make sure that they're being whole, that they're not neglecting their mental health, and that they know that about 1 in 5 to 7 men and women are dealing with mental health issues during this time.
Yeah.
So that is our primary focus in the population that we work with.
Wow. That's a whole nother side of the spectrum, but it's phenomenal. Now, as a private practice, that means you are in control of how that operates.
I am.
Yep. You are certified, dignified,
licensed,
and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So you're telling people to inject themselves with bleach.
I am not. That is not a practice at our agency. No.
That's phenomenal. So many people in this hour struggle with mental health and don't want to admit it.
Silently. Yeah.
Don't want to confess to it.
Yeah.
Or don't know it.
Yeah, absolutely.
To struggle with mental health does not mean you're totally crazy. It does not mean
it's very normal.
Unable to function.
Yeah.
Some of us are functionally disturbed. And so we end up taking out our frustrations on all the wrong people, places, and things because we haven't dealt with matters. So this is not just for those who should be institutionalized, but this will keep you out of institutions, even prisons.
Yes.
Talk to me a little bit about understanding the need to talk things through.
So I think that is something that I like that it's a part of self-awareness, and knowing and acknowledging that you don't have to do it alone, and that it's okay to talk to someone about what's going on. And also, like I think you said, that knowing that it's something that people go through every day. Yeah. My primary focus is working with people of color. And a lot of times we don't want to acknowledge, or we've been taught, we're going to just sweep that under the rug. We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to deal with it. Be sure. Exactly. And to a degree, that is good. But that's not the whole story. There are times when you do need more support and you do need to talk about it, and it's okay. So my primary focus is getting that awareness out there, because a lot of people, they suffer in silence. They don't talk about it, and they don't know where to go to find help, especially during this time period. Like people, it's easier to find a general therapist, but someone that understands and will be more empathetic to the plight of what's going on during this time period, for mothers, for the children, for the husbands, even, or partners, whoever is involved. Even if you're adopting, that's still another part of it, that you still deal with some of these same issues and struggles that the family deals with around birthing and pregnancy and postpartum period.
So our friends are not always qualified counselors.
No,
And unmarried are not always qualified to teach us how to function in marriage. And those who are not trained in certain matters are not always the best people to deal with in-depth matters.
Yeah.
We need to seek suitable help for certain situations.
Yeah. I mean, and we go through a lot of training, counselors, therapists, and when you even become more specialized, you go through extra training.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of just knowing that there are certain skills and certain techniques that just work better, and the layperson wouldn't be aware about these things. You know, they may be able to listen, but it's a whole nother level to listening that can get you to a place of just being making it to being able to be successful and thrive and be whole and function at a whole nother level.
Wow. I have one last question. Who is MZ?
So MZ comes from my children, actually, Milton and Zoe. They are my my inspiration for going after what I feel like God has designed for me. And they are a lot of the work that I do. It wasn't until after I had both of them that I became aware of what I needed to be doing and what my purpose was. So I wanted to make sure that I honored that in what I was doing.
Well, we are so proud of you for stepping out. We're so proud of you for pushing past discomfort, and for even dealing with some of your own issues to be able to help others. Thank you for MZ Creations. Thank you for MZ Faith Connection.
Correct. Yep. Thank you, Bishop. It was an honor being here.
We look forward to you being a blessing to many, many people. Tell us one more time how to reach you.
Yes, so you can find me on Facebook under MZ Creations and MZ Faith Connection.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you so much. You have a fantastic evening, and we love you, and we'll see you again soon.
Love you too. Thank you.
Well, family, she was a great guest. I pray that you will take advantage of MZ Creations and MZ Faith Connection. I know I'm going to take advantage of MZ Creations just because I like that kind of stuff. So my next guest tonight is a premier gospel artist. I have known her for a long time, and I am so grateful that she consented to come on the show tonight. She has a new single out that we're going to talk about. She has an excellent career that we're going to talk about, and I know God has some more things in store for her. Will you help me welcome at this time Monica Lisa Stevenson?
Hey,
hello there.
Hey, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Well, we are so grateful to have you on tonight. You are moving and shaking.
I am moving and shaking. Yes, and listen, it's 10:30, and I got to be in Birmingham by 9 in the morning. So,
oh, bless God.
Oh, yes, God.
So you rushing me, or you just saying you moving and shaking?
Listen, so when Bishop Williams texts you in the middle of the evening and say, "Can you come on tonight?" You definitely can't say no. You can't. You just say yes. You know what time?
Well, thank you so much. God is going to give you a supercharge in your voice, and you're going to sing tomorrow. They're going to say, "Who was that? What happened to you? What you drink?" Amen.
Right.
Monica Stevenson, I'm Not Ashamed. Tell me about the new single.
So the new single, of course, was written by Vashawn Mitchell.
All
And
right.
let me tell you how we got the song. He actually comes here to do his demos that he sends out to other artists. And the artist that he was actually doing this song for, they decided they wanted to put it, they want to push this song back and not put it on this album. So he asked Derek, he says, Monica looking for new music for her new project. And Derek said, yes. He said, well, take this song and let her listen to it, see if she likes it. So immediately when I heard it, it just connected, and it was something different. It had a little groove to it. I was like, yes, let's make it happen. Yeah. So
here's what I want to do. I want to play a little snippet of it. I'm not going to give it all away, but I'm going to see if I can tag in here. Listen, behind her is the husband, the producer, the elder, the sneaky preacher, Derek Stevenson. Hey, how you do, sir?
My big brother, Pastor Williams, Apostle Williams.
It, it is an honor to have you as well. Listen, y'all two together, y'all too much. It's not even fair.
It's him.
It's not fair at all.
Trying to build a kingdom.
There you go. Let's hit this song a little bit. Let's see what we got here.
Everything I need. You ask me what, I'll tell you again.
That's Paul Porter.
I'm not ashamed. Good to me. He's been good. Good to me. He's been mighty, mighty good. Good to me. I'll tell it. He's been good to me. He's been mighty good. Been good to me. He's been very good. Yes, he has. And I'm gonna tell it. I'll tell it. Good to me. He never let me fall. Good to me. I'm still here today. Good to me. He's so made it away. Tell again. He's been my friend. Good to me. He never let me down. Good to me. He's always around.
That's enough. I'm ready to holler. I ain't even on the project and I'm ready to holler. That is excellent. I'm not ashamed. Featuring Paul Porter.
That's right.
Listen, you did that one. You did that one. We are so proud of Kynos and Monica Lisa Stevenson live in Atlanta, and finally, and testimony, and here we are with I'm Not Ashamed. Did I get them all?
I'm not ashamed. Yes. That was it. You got them all.
All right.
And what is so ironic, I am celebrating, this is my 20th year in music ministry.
Yes.
And if I can remember correctly, I think you were there from the beginning.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
We're going to be celebrating 20 years. We had, of course, the corona put a hold on our plans to celebrate for the top of October, but we are going to be celebrating in December for 20 years of music ministry.
I can't wait. Because I know that's going to be a grand celebration.
I cannot wait.
Well, thank you so much. Where do we go get it? How do we download it? What do we need to do?
So you can get it on any digital outlets. And of course, we have some hard copies here. If you want a hard copy, I know I'm old school. I like to have the CD in my hand, and I still have a CD player in my car. And so you can inbox me if you'd like to get a hard copy. And of course, you can go to any digital outlets. It's there. Just Google, search my name and search either I'm Not Ashamed.
Excellent. We are so proud. You are doing a phenomenal job in music ministry, 20 years, and seem like every so many years you start again, like you redefine yourself or represent yourself. And I found that to be the secret of longevity.
Yes.
That after every so many years, you represent yourself fresh and new. And I'm just proud of what I've seen, what I've had the privilege of being a part of. And what is yet to come, because the best is indeed yet to come. Family, I need you to go and get the CD. I need you to download it. I need you to get it, and make sure we are supporting our own, because the kingdom supports her own. So we are going to make sure that Monica Lisa Stevenson knows that we celebrate her, we appreciate her for 20 years, and for what's coming even beyond this. Thank you so much, Lisa. We love you.
Thank you. Love you guys too.
Get some rest and kill them tomorrow here.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, y'all, I'm having a ball tonight. But it's time to come back to a serious side. You know, when we look at what's going on in our nation today, and we look at the challenges and the frustrations between the community and the police departments, it just seems like we're not going to get along. Trust has been lost on both sides. There's frustration on both sides. And we got to figure out how to come together. We got to figure out how to root out the bad weeds. It's like moving into a new house that's not new, but it's new to you. And you looking at a yard and you seeing all kind of stuff in the yard. And you see in your eye, in your mind's eye, that it can be a beautiful yard, but you know it's going to take some work. And that's where we are right now. I believe with all of my heart that the unrest, the civil unrest, the hurt and the pain and everything that is going on right now, I believe it is a part of the solution, not the problem. I actually believe the Breonna Taylor a grand jury, that's a part of the solution. I told you back in May that I believe that on Pentecost Sunday 2020, God got involved in this. And he said, all right, y'all do what you need to do, but I'm going to pick it up from here. And I believe God has been overseeing things and working things. And I believe there's so much happening under the covers and behind the scenes that we don't know of, that we won't know of maybe for weeks or months at a time. I've talked to some other police officers and that one couldn't come on. He said his chief told him to stand down because so much change was happening. He was not allowed to speak of certain things that were going on. And I'm not going to put our next guest in an uncomfortable place, but I'm so grateful that he consented. Will you help me welcome Officer McAfee? How are you, Officer McAfee?
I'm fantastic, sir. How about yourself?
Excellent. Thank you so much for coming on. Not only you an officer, but you're one of my sons. So I'm going to treat you real nice and be real nice to you. But working for the state of Georgia, patrolling on behalf of the state, dealing with what you have to deal with, seeing the things that are going on. I understand that police officers are quitting. They're leaving their jobs. Some are not responding to calls because they don't want to be involved. They don't want to get engaged for fear of something going down, that we're getting new people in positions, but they're having to come in and deal with chaotic situations. It's just a mess. I believe it's an ordained mess because you cannot restructure anything that is not torn up.
Yes, sir.
For you, when I look at this and I look at how we're taking it out on all police officers, we're mad at all authority. We've just about quit and decided to throw away all authority. I want to ask you, as a young black man, as a husband, as a father, who is sensitive to everything that's going on, when you put on that uniform in this hour, what are you hoping for from people?
That you don't see me as the experience or the expression that the media has put out. That as an officer, when me and you have an encounter, that you hear me out and we can start from a level position and not, all officers are what the media is putting out. So let me deal with you how I see officers due to the media.
Wow. When we had our prayer gathering at South DeKalb Mall, another officer, you were there, and another officer came out, and he just stood with us while we prayed, and he prayed with us. and he talked with us. And one of the things I said to him was thank you, because all we know is what we're shown.
Right.
So when we see you, we expect you to do something stupid.
Yeah.
We expect you to snatch me out the window of the car, put me on the ground, drag my face in glass, put a gun up to the back of my ear, and just torment me for no reason, because this is all that we've seen. How do we begin to shift and adjust what the news media is constantly replaying? And it's a replaying. It's not always anything fresh. It's the same thing over and over and over again. How do we begin to change that image in the minds of the community?
I still understand that it just has to be, give that officer a chance. It's going to be hard as a person. When I take the badge off, I'm back to a African American father, husband. So I do the same, but just give that officer a chance. When you asked me to come on, I was like, oh, this is Bishop, this is my father. Let me get my mind right, and how am I going to answer some of these questions, and what do I want people to gather from it? And it's really about what has been lost in this whole era is communication. Officers get so tunnel vision because of, okay, I just stopped somebody, or I have to go to somebody's house, and I'm already on such a high alert because you got officers watching the news, and we're getting ambushed, writing reports, or we're going to a house call, and it's not really a call that needs help. It's really an ambush. So we're having briefings, and they're saying, hey, be careful going to these areas. Be careful doing this. Be careful if you can't see the person's hands. I always say, hey, I don't want to talk to you yet. Let me see your hands. So we're always at a high point, but communication has been lost between the officer and the person who we encountering with.
It's always safe, and I know this is not going to be a popular statement, so I'm going to make it. It's always safe to err on the side of authority.
Mm-hmm.
When you're dealing with somebody in authority, it's always better to humble yourself to get through the matter and deal with the matter, if there is a matter to deal with, on the back end. We are so emotionally energized to the place where our entire statement is what we ain't gonna take and what ain't nobody gonna do to us. And whenever your walls are that tall, you will literally create a situation. I always teach, you create what you fear. And if your fear is being pulled over and being beat up or being shot or something, when that thing happens, you will act in a way that will cause the very thing you fear. Mm-hmm. We gotta calm down.
And it's so funny that you even brought that up, that I had a situation just today where I stopped a man and we was all calm, and then I asked him, as soon as I asked him a question, he said something and it put me on high alert, and I escalated that thing so fast. And I was like, when I got back to the car, I didn't know how it happened. And I was like, that's not me. But it's just the fact where I encounter people who I don't know, and then I'm looking at the news because I want to be on top of everything.
Sure.
So when you throw a curveball at me or you start talking like that, now you're putting the officer at a high point. But the key, I feel like, that a lot of people have lost is, I mean, you said the error on the side of authority. A lot of the stuff that we see is an officer gives somebody a demand. And I know I'm going to get in trouble for this, so y'all pray for me later. That an officer gives you a demand, comply to that demand. You might not even want to do it. Listen to him, because if he gives you that command so many times, he's going to say, oh, he's not listening to me. Let's go to the next use of force. And we're always taught to go, we're already a step above you. If you're yelling, we're done. We're going to yell at you for a little bit, but after that, we're already, all right, less lethal. All right, you're not looking at the less lethal. All right, so you have something. I don't know what you have. Let's go to the next level. We're always trained to go a step above that. So
Everybody is not a racist.
right.
Everybody is not, every police officer is not out to meet a quota. Every police officer is not out to hound Black people or not out to just hound poor people. I think we have to re-engage. One of the things I would encourage you to even take back to the police departments, one of the greatest places for you all to come and talk and share and be a part of the community is in church.
Mm-hmm.
If I can see police officers in church with me, coming in, not arresting somebody, but coming in and being a part of the community and maybe having words and saying, you know, it is really our desire to protect you. And sometimes we feel like we have to protect you from you or us from us, or we have to do this. But this is really our heart. I think that ability to communicate on that level, because when you pull me over, it's too late. I'm already mad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mad because I got caught. I'm mad because now I'm delayed what I was probably already late for. I'm mad because you should be finding somebody that's killing somebody and not somebody going 10 over the speed limit. I'm mad because, yeah, I ran the stop sign, but don't nobody stop at that stop sign. You know, I'm mad for all the wrong reasons. And I want to tell you, man, go do something important. Leave me alone.
Yep.
When in reality, the Bible says that the law is a terror to the unjust. You ain't doing nothing wrong. The law is not a terror to you. If you're not connected to error, the law is really not a terror to you, save those, that realm that really is the bad apples in the bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to admit, there are some racist officers. There are some racist people. Black people are very racist. We've just never had the upper hand for it to ever be really significant.
Right.
But we have to, I think, settle down and find a way to reunite on common ground, communicate on common ground. So when we get on other ground, that we can say, oh yeah, you were at my church Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to police in my community, you need to show up at a football game, a basketball game, a church service. You need to celebrate the community that you police. Otherwise, you do look like a terror.
Mm-hmm.
Only that's just like being in a marriage and your mate only want to talk to you when something wrong.
Right.
We're like, is that all we're gonna talk about? You know. So I want to encourage you to even share with the officers, and I have some inroads and some others that I'm talking to and sharing, and I'm going to encourage them. Hey, when we get back in these churches, some are already in, some who are small enough to fit in larger buildings. Come in and say praise the Lord to the people. Come in and in your gear, put on your blue. Come in and let them see you lift your hands to God. Even if you think it's 2 Corinthians, you still give us at least the show so that we can have some type of confidence. But if all you want to do is enforce, at some point, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah, Bishop. I love that idea. The other idea that I was thinking of, because I always think of ways of how can we interact so when we do encounter somebody, it's not all the way at 100.
Certainly.
Is have a conversation. Sometimes when I do a traffic stop, my traffic stops are oftentimes longer than a normal traffic stop. Just for the simple fact, I'll ask the person, hey, you know, this is why I pulled you over, but how's your day? It throws them completely off because there's like,
Right.
I don't. Who are you? I'm not as robotic as they train. I will say that as they train us to be. I'm not as robotic. So when you have a counter with me, you'd be like, you're different. I love to hear that. If I can hear that you're different, there's something different about you. My dad always taught me all you have is your name. So my name is on there. You know my badge number. Let's
Yes,
have a
sir.
conversation. So when you have a conversation with an officer, if I do decide to give you that ticket, it doesn't hurt as bad because it is a conversation between me and you. And you be like, you know what? Yeah, I understand why I got
Right.
this ticket. You all right.
I was on my way to church, and we'll wrap this up because our time is up. I was on my way to church some years ago, and I didn't stop at a stop sign turning right. I just kind of slowed down and coasted because wasn't nobody there. And out of nowhere, whoop, whoop, I was like, oh my God. I'm on my way to church and the light. So, I pulled my crossing chain out so it could be seen and everything. So the officer came over, and I let the window down, and he looked in the car, and I said, how you doing, officer? He said, how you doing, Bishop? I said, you know me? He said, yeah, I come to the church sometimes. He said, next time, stop at that stop sign, all right? I said, yes, sir, you got my word. I'm going to stop every time I hit that stop sign. And to this day, when I get to that stop sign, I stop. But the mere fact, not that he gave me a warning, but that he knew me, that he was familiar with the church, that he was familiar with what I did in the community, and that he could address me. If he had given me a ticket, I would have been justified in getting it, and I would have had to pay it. But the fact that he knew me meant so much to me.
Right.
I think one of the major things that we're going to have to do is come back to community. We're going to have hot dogs and chips and Fagos because they cheap, and we're going to have to come back to the community and re-engage as a community, so that people can know that police officers are human, and so the police officers can know these people. So when they pull you over, they can say, "Now, John, now come on now. You know you're wrong. You know you're about to get this ticket, and you know you're gonna have to pay it. But don't be this stupid." And there can be an exchange in some sense of familiarity,
Right.
that helps that authority function. So thank you so much, Jarvis.
Thank you, sir.
You are a phenomenal man, husband, father, son, officer, state officer, and we're just grateful to know you. Thank you for letting us see tonight the human side of police officers.
Thank you, sir. Love you, Bishop.
Have a phenomenal night. I'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.
Well, family, it's time for me to go. This has been an emotional show for me. It's been a time where we've just had to kind of deal with some things, and it's not easy to deal with. It's not easy to deal with at all. So I always leave you with the joke of the night, because I want to always leave you laughing. All right? So here's our joke of the night. A trooper pulls over a priest. A trooper pulls over a priest and immediately smells alcohol on the priest's breath. The next thing he notices is an empty wine bottle lying on the passenger seat. "Have you been drinking?" the officer asks. "Just water," says the priest. "Then why do I smell wine?" The priest looks at the bottle and shouts, "Good Lord, he's done it again." Turn water into wine. Thank you, Jarvis. Thank you, Z. Ashley. Thank you, Monica Lisa Stevenson. Thank you, everybody, for an incredible Power 90 Live. I'll see y'all next week. God bless you.